Let me move on. Time now for Teflon John. While most of the media focus only on Clinton and Obama and continue to give John McCain pretty much a free ride, we're keeping an eye on McCain. Tonight, new controversy surrounding this comment from McCain in January.
President Bush has talked about our staying in Iraq for 50 years.
Maybe 100.
Is that
how long?
We've
We've been in South Korea. We've been in Japan for 60 years. We've been in South Korea for 50 years or so. That'd be fine with me,
So
as long as Americans are not being injured or harmed or wounded or killed.
Now, since then, Obama and Clinton have blasted McCain. Suddenly, McCain switching to offense, saying this signals that Obama doesn't understand foreign policy. It's true, McCain never said it would be a 100-year war, but he's still talking about keeping troops in Iraq for 100 years, and he's been flipping and flopping on whether it's a fair comparison to South Korea. Again, if it had been Obama or Clinton, the media would have been all over them. Do you agree with me, Wes?
I agree that, look, this shows John McCain doesn't understand the region. This region is allergic to the presence of foreign troops, especially troops from Western countries. So the idea of staying 100 years, even if there's no fighting, it's going to destabilize our relationships in the region. It shows John McCain doesn't have the expertise that he claims to have in the region.
Go ahead, Tony. Yep.
Look, General McPeak, who is Obama's senior military advisor, himself a few years ago said he hopes we're there for 100 years. It'll mean we're successful. So, you know, I don't know whether General Clark disagrees with General McPeak. Apparently he does. Maybe two retired generals can disagree.
Yeah, but what about the media coverage,
but to suggest that Senator McCain is off base when Obama's own senior military advisor said the statement 3 or 4 years ago,
look,
I think is a little...
But here's my point, Tony. My point is about the way that the media covers this. The bottom line is, if we had seen something like this from Obama or Clinton, talking about 100 years, again, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it.
If I were a Democrat, I'd repeat that message a zillion times because it's a slogan. It's not fair, but it's a good cheap shot. You know, it's like Al Gore on the internet. You know, the other side always takes a good cheap shot.
It's much more fair.
It's very fair. When John McCain clarified and said, well, I don't mean a war, I just mean to have troops there, he's showing he doesn't understand the region. Look, in South Korea, there really is a threat. There's 1 million troops north of the border. They could come down, and we need a deterrent. There is no threat of invasion of Iraq by any country in the region.
But Tony, how do you deal?
General, we've had troops in Kuwait for what, 16 years now?
But Tony, how do you?
We've had them there in a very specialized fashion.
Hang on one second. I want to play this piece of sound. This is from McCain on Charlie Rose. Remember, in that soundbite we just heard, he said that it's comparable to South Korea in terms of the way that the troops are there. Here he is on the Charlie Rose show.
Do you think that this South Korea, is an analogy where Iraq might be, not in terms of their economic success, but in terms of an American presence over the next, say, 20, 25 years, that we will have a significant amount of troops there?
I don't think so.
Even if there are no casualties?
No.
I mean, Joan, the flipping and the flopping on this is just, you know, it seems that it's constant and the media just doesn't pick up on it.
It is constant, and he gets a lot of credibility for his war hero status, but he's not being grilled on what he really thinks is going to happen long run, and I think it's going to damage him in the long run. I think he brought it up in such a glib way, 50 years, 100 years, whatever. And Wes is right. It really represents a lack of understanding of what a provocation those troops are in the region.
Tony, the final 15 seconds.
Yeah, I would ask General Clark, what about the troops that we have in Kuwait for 15 years, in Bosnia for since 97 or whatever it is? We keep troops all over the world for a lot of...
Because there was a threat in Iraq, and we pulled our troops out of Saudi Arabia. We need to come out of this region.
The bottom line, though, is that when it comes to how this story is covered, whether you agree or you disagree, the bottom line is McCain tends to get a free pass on this. That's why we call this segment Teflon John. General Clark and Tony Blankley, thank you very much. Good to see you again.